Hello, it's me. With 5 games in, teams are sort of taking a little bit of shape now. Like the league's sort of thinning out a little bit to where you'd expect certain sides to be, especially a couple of fellas, you know what I mean? And I start with Championship this time, and I just want to get straight in there with the whole Sheffield United game that were on Friday night. We obviously did a watch along if you were there. Thank you for coming. But this game, I'll talk about one thing straight away, which is why is he still there? Why is Gustavo Him still at Championship? Why is he still at Sheffield United? Why did Leeds not buy him? Why has no one in Premier League bought him? Why have no other European teams in Italy bought him? Why is he still here? He's way too good for this league. And yeah, he's playing a bunch of idiots because Hull, to be honest, Hull were really bad. Like, I'm not just saying it, they were really, really shockingly bad. They had nothing going for them. Defensively, they looked awful. Like, the errors that some of the back four were making were really, really bad. The only real goal threat that Hull had, by the looks of it, was Kamara, and then he went off at half-time. I don't know if he were injured or what were going on. But that Liam Miller looked all right when he come on, to be fair. The ratings, I'm not listening to them ratings. I had my own eyes. I saw the game. I know what happened. And I thought that Liam Miller were okay when he come on. But the way that Hull look a threat is by the individual quality that they've got, which is very limited, other than like Kamara and Liam Miller, and you can only play one of them at once, effectively. There's no, like, team cohesion going on. And obviously it's a lot of new players that I've not seen before. So you can't expect to just throw them all in there at once and expect them to gel. But they look so bad. I actually don't think Sheffield United looked that good. I thought Gilchrist were probably the best player on pitch, even though I've just bummed over Raymer for like a minute. I thought Gilchrist were really, really good. The back four defended well, but I thought even in midfield, they looked quite slack, and that's definitely the strongest area of Sheffield United. Like, there were a couple of times that one of all lads would just pick it up and run straight through all of them. Yeah, Souttar were quite good as well, to be fair. They all made some decent blocks, but defensively they were really good. Cooper made some really good saves when he was called upon. I think Moore's probably the weakest link in the Sheffield United team, which I wouldn't have thought I'd say at start of season, but I do think he's probably the weakest one. However, Sheffield United did look okay. Bearing in mind, Sheffield United haven't played anyone yet. They've played loads of idiots, in all honesty. Their hardest game this season were Barnsley. Sheffield United look okay. Do you know what I mean? And Hull, really bad. Like, really, really bad. In a season where I think it's quite difficult to pick both promoted and relegated teams, because it's quite, I think it's quite level throughout. Hull could be in bother because they are shit. Anyway, now that Friday night is out of the way, we'll start at top and we'll come down. So, Leeds obviously lost 1-0 to Burnley in early kick-off on Saturday. Burnley, come on! And once again, I'm going to take you to the reason that they've done it. And I'm going to scroll all the way down here to coach department and click on this guy. Because Daniel Farke is a postman. He's absolutely dog shit. Literally, you can go on the stats and you can pick whatever you want, really, to suit your own narrative, can't you? Because you can go on here and say, oh, well, Leeds are more possession, more shots. They absolutely dominated start to finish. They definitely should have won. But the defending for Burnley's goal were absolutely ridiculous. I can't remember if it came from a Leeds set piece. But effectively, Koleosho's picked it up. Probably from this position, to be fair, on pitch, and just ran it in a straight line from there all the way to net and scored. The defending's absolutely horrendous. And Burnley, I mean, don't get me wrong, even though Farke's shit at his job, Ellen Road is not an easy place to go and get anything. Near man win, and definitely to keep a clean sheet away at their place, it is really tough going. So Scott Parker's done really well to go there and get something like that. But this team is still very good. I thought Fleming looked good, especially like, I had like half an eye on this game because I were out getting absolutely spanned in York. So I had half an eye on it, and then after watching everything and seeing what people are saying afterwards, Zian Fleming sounded like he had a really good game and he did exactly what he's supposed to do. Just go and be an handful up front. He's not a striker. He'd probably play where Medjby would play most of the time, but if you're going to play both of them, then this could work. Because he can just go in there, throw a couple elbows about, alt ball up. He's very good, Fleming, at whatever you want him to do. Really good win for Burnley. And Leeds need a new gaffer, boys. That's what it is. You need a new gaffer, one that can take you seriously. If you'd gone for like Carlos or something at West Brom, you'd go up easily. Probably unbeaten. But moving on. Mel! You know, every single week this season so far, I've had Luton on a bet to win. Every single week. And every single week they've let me down. Apart from Saturday. So I thought, you know what? I'll put Millwall on. I like Millwall. My mate's in me. Yeah, Millwall. Yeah. Bet Millwall. Like some little devil sat on my shoulder. Then they go and do this. But to be fair, I'm quite glad because I want Luton to do well. Millwall will not be any danger, but they just didn't look clinical enough, to be honest. It was a bit of a nothing game when we were like half watching it. Oxford, another really, really good win. I'm going to talk about this one actually because people keep writing them off. And I have done been telling you all about El Mizuni. I'm telling you, when she starts, It's over. The midfield options that they've got are ridiculous. Ruben Rodriguez and Will Vaulks on bench. What is happening? The squad depth they've got now is really, really good. To be fair, the manager likes to chop and change things quite often, doesn't it? If you've watched the masterclass video that he did for playoff final against Bolton, he's very, very intelligent bloke, so he needs different profiles of players, to be fair to him. But they've got a really good side. A really good side. And also, this was the straw that brought the camels back, apparently, for Steven Schumacher, because Stoke have sacked him. I don't know why. I thought Stoke had started quite well, to be honest with you. I think they've got a mid-table squad that he's got mid-table. I think he's doing a decent job, in all honesty. If you give him time, it will obviously build something that can probably get him out of this league, like he did with Plymouth. But I don't know what Stoke are expecting. Just somebody to come in and be like, all right, we're instantly the Barclaysmen again, and we've spawned into mid-table in Premier League. There is no other Tony Pulis that can do this for you. You're a mid-table team. You've got a really, really bang-average squad. I don't know what Stoke's higher-ups are expecting when this bit's ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, Oxford have won again. Really good side. Blackburn 3, Bristol City 0. Bristol City, I thought, might have maybe done something a little bit better than 13th this season on mid-table superiority when it's just them versus Preston for the mid-table trophy. But obviously, I overestimated them again. Derby beating Cardiff 1-0. Now, this is a big one, to be fair. Because again, Derby keep proving that at home, they're a good side. Look at that form. Obviously, this stretches into League One. But what, they lost to Charlton. That is the last time they didn't win the game at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 league wins in a row at home. That is serious. And obviously, I thought, well, to be fair, I still think Derby could go down just because of what Paul Warren is. And away from home, they're not going to be that good. They'll not score a lot of goals away from home, I don't think. Or I don't think they'll get many points away from home. But if you can have home form like that, that is definitely keeping you up easily. That is title winning home form. It's just away from home, they've got to pick it up a little bit. And Cardiff again proving that they're just struggling to score goals. They've scored 1 in 5 games and it were away at Swansea. That is the only goal that they've scored. And yeah, they've had a decently hard start, to be fair. They've got Sunderland, Burnley, Swansea obviously in what is the big derby, Middlesbrough, and then Derby away. So the fixtures are quite tough, but the real lack of goals, and obviously they conceded that many. They've conceded most and scored least. Do you know what I mean? That ain't good, obviously. They could be in serious bad believers if they're not picking it up quite soon. Middlesbrough 1, Preston 1. I don't know how many times I can keep saying this about Middlesbrough, but once again, they've dominated the game and not won. I feel like I'm saying that most weeks, to be honest with you, because away at Derby, they were easily better side. At home again, literally every game. Effectively every game Middlesbrough played this season, they've been the better side. Pardon me. And I don't know what to say. There's some Middlesbrough fans actually tell me what is going on. Why are you not winning every game? Because I think your squad is good. Your attacking lineup is good. You've still got Aidan Atney. Your defence is good. Like Clark's obviously a really good player. And I think your team, your 11 especially across board, is very good. And your stats every game are very good. Why are you not winning? Why have you not got 15 points genuinely so far? I don't understand what am I missing. But it's a really, really good point for Preston to go and get away at Middlesbrough. I think Paul Hickenbottom could struggle this season, especially to score goals, losing Alan Brown. I'll keep going on about that, but it's true. I'll keep going on about it because it is a thing that's happened. Preston have lost the best player, so I think they will struggle to score goals, and clearly they have because they've only scored 3. But that is still a really, really good point. Plymouth, go on, boys! They finally got the first win. I want Plymouth to stay up. I really, really want Plymouth to stay up. For Rooney, I'm rooting for little guy, obviously. Who knows? You know what? Who knows? It could be one of them seasons where it's 3 massive clubs that go down effectively rather than like a Plymouth or an Oxford, something like that. Who knows? But I really hope they do it. That's not only Sunderland's first loss at season, but it's the only game Sunderland have dropped points in so far. They've played 5, obviously won the first 4, and then you'd think going to Plymouth would be just like 5 up bounce, you know what I mean? But you know what? No team can just win everything, can they? But moving on, obviously Wednesday, crap, they drew 1-1 at home to QPR. QPR have had some decent draws and some decent points, especially away from home this season, especially at both Didas. Swansea beat Norwich again, decent win for Swansea. That Norwich really hasn't started that good. I feel like they had the spell, Norwich, didn't they, where they were just boing for a little bit. But the squad I don't think is that good anymore, especially if they're selling what is effectively the best 2 players this summer. They'll not be playoff chasers, will they? Speaking of playoff chasers, what are Coventry doing? Seriously, what are they doing? Is it really to the point where if you don't have Ben Sheaf starting, the drop-off is that big? Surely, with the squad that Coventry have got, the amount of players in different positions that they've got, they can make it work without Ben Sheaf for the few games that he's going to be missing. Why can they not win? The squad is mental. They've got Hadji out on bench. I don't actually know what's going on there. But again, you know what? I keep saying about them changing the defence. They've changed it again. They've brought Thomas and Kitchen in this time. Have they got injuries? No, Binks is on bench. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know anymore. They keep changing the defence, which I don't care. You know what? I just don't care. Because I thought Coventry had really, really challenged for top 2, but they just keep changing so many things. They can't win a game, apparently, to save their life without Ben Sheaf, so who knows. And then we'll finish with the real Super Sunday game, which were Portsmouth-West Brom. Carlos has got a striker now that if he can keep fit, is going to get him 25 goals. This league's in danger. Seriously, this league is in real, serious danger. Start to finish, West Brom are a very, very good team. I don't think there's any real standouts as like you get with other sides where they've got one player that's miles better than everybody else. These have got a really, really good squad. Just start to finish, one almost consistent level. Obviously, Moat started to really come into his own. Like last season, he was good, but I mean, yesterday he was really, really good. They've got a really good mix as well. I think West Brom of proper experience which is needed, not like across board, but especially in this league. You've got a lot of players that have played a lot of games in this league. And you've got some very, very good players to come off bench as well. Like Mikey Johnson's not even starting yet. You've got Jed Wallace not even starting. Dean Garner. Tom Fellows looks really, really good. Obviously, Madja now, really good player. DK's still injured, but when he comes back for the 3 games that you might get out of him, he's a good player. But they've still got this guy. They've still got the biggest prize asset, the biggest asset in Championship altogether, which is Carlos. He's the best manager in the league. And if he can keep, especially Summer Strike Force fit, you brothers in trouble. You brothers in trouble. Not lost a game yet. 2 goals conceded. They've played some decent sides as well. QPR away first game. They've got a point against Leeds, Stoke, Swansea, Portsmouth. They've started really, really good. You can't really expect out else. The league leaders, and for a reason, look really, really good. Overall, with Championship, obviously Cardiff are bottom because they've scored 1 goal and got 1 point, so I don't know what else they're expecting, to be fair. Portsmouth, I think, will come good eventually. I do. I do think they'll struggle and they'll definitely like bottom 5, 6-ish, but I do think they'll be alright. Hull really might not be. Hull looked terrible. Wednesday might not be, to be fair. Yeah, they looked alright against QPR, to be fair to them, but if they've not got that clinical finish and they're going to get slapped majority of the time away from home if they go and play like they do, they'll struggle. Luton are going to start shooting up soon, you'd think. Plymouth have finally got the first win, the 16th. That might be Isa finished all season. But going to top, Derby and Oxford have started a lot better than I thought. Obviously, I thought Oxford would stay up anyway. Sheffield United look good, to be fair to them. They've not played any proper sides yet, but when they do, then we'll find out. When they play someone like a West Brom or a Sunderland or a Leeds or a Middlesbrough, we'll find out what they're actually about. Blackburn really good, Sunderland really good despite that loss, and Carlos's baggy boys leading the way. Now for proper league. League 1, Mansfield 2, Cambridge 1 starts off. They've got Lee Gregory. If they can keep him fit, he's going to score goals every single week. They've got this Evans up front, who's very, very good. Quinn's still going. I think they'd probably struggle without Keeler Dunn, the goals that he provides. But like I've just said, if you can keep Lee Gregory fit, then he'll probably end up being one of the top scorers in the league anyway, so it don't matter. And once again, Cambridge dropping points to a team that's probably going to finish around them. They do not look like they're going to be doing enough to stay up. I'm sorry. And especially when Gary Monk's trying to play out front back with Cambridge players. Absolute idiocy. Some of the stuff I keep seeing from lower league managers forcing them to play out at back. I watched North London Derby on Sunday and I'm seeing Tottenham lads, Tottenham's defenders worth about 200 million quid across that back line, passing it out for throw-ins, gearing it away to strikers for Arsenal, constantly making mistakes. And you're telling me that Gary Monk and Cambridge are going to do it on a minefield pitch with pub players? Stop. Get it lumped up like you should. Moving on. Really good win for Wickham, to be fair. They might be something to look out for this season. Big Fat Steve the second, because there's 2 of them now in this league, has got his first win as Blackpool Gaffer of Exeter. That's decent, to be fair. But this is the main event in this league. To be fair, this is the main event in football probably this weekend, that Bolton have lost 4-0 at home to Huddersfield. And it's not even a case like it normally would be, where even if Bolton lose the possessions at about 80%, they've probably had more shots on target, stuff like that. But the chances that Bolton get aren't good ones. Like I know everyone talks about like XG shaggers and stuff like that, but they're not getting in quality positions when they're having the shots. They're just taking pop shots a lot of time if they can get up pitch. And the position that Bolton have got is all this bloke, Santos, Owen Toyle, whoever the back 3 is. It's just constantly switching play between the back 3, never breaking lines, never doing anything. They can't get up. They can't hold the ball up front. They can't pin a defender, any of the strikers, because they're all weak as pish. So how they expect to get out up pitch against a very high pressing side that Michael Duff has got with Huddersfield, I've got no idea. But the defending's absolutely atrocious. The decision making from back three and keeper is even worse. They're forcing it out from back when they're losing 3-0 at home to Huddersfield, and the keeper's trying to play it from himself, cutting lines up. You're 3-0 down at home and you're trying to play it out from back. If that doesn't scream donkey, I don't know what does. Just get it pumped up the pitch. Try and play off second balls of a big man. What are you doing with Aaron Collins and Dion Charles up front? You're never going to win a dime. Sheehan's on bench. He's your best midfielder. You got Adebayo on bench. I couldn't care if he's the worst footballer ever. He can pin a man and he's strong. Get him starting or you will not score any goals. As we've seen from, let me scroll down, Bolton 21st. 2 goals scored, which were in the first game away at Leyton Orient. They have not scored since, because they keep playing the same forwards every game. Ian Evatt is a complete donkey. How he's still got this job, I've got absolutely no idea. But from going to the negative to the positive here, Huddersfield look really, really good. Really solid. Across board, the defensively, they're obviously going to be really good because they've got this lad in from Wolves. Pardon me, again, that was a really bad one. They've kept Hellick for some reason. God knows how they've still got him. But defensively, they're going to be really good. They press really well. The midfield's good. Across board, a very good win for Huddersfield. That, and very clear levels between what is going to be 2 promotions chasing sides, you'd imagine. Despite the poor start that Bolton have had, you think they'll be good enough to get up there. But that is the levels between a side that's just come down from Championship and kept a lot of the good players and a good League One side. It's just, you can't get near them anymore, man. You just can't get near them unless you start pumping it up front and stop fanning about with it in your back three. From one 4-0 to another, Bristol Rovers 0, Wigan 4. To be fair, they've still kept Asgard, haven't they? They might have lost Charlie Hughes. They might be a bit all over the place. They don't really have a big squad. They've got a lot of young'uns coming through, stuff like that, because they're just in a mess, aren't they, Wigan altogether. But they've kept the main attacking output machine. The main attacking threat is still there, which is really, really good. And they've got Jordan Hugill scoring, so if they can get him scoring, then God knows. And yeah, Bristol Rovers had a red card, but that affected nothing. It were already 4-0. They'd already brought all the subs on Wigan. They were just seeing game out by the time that Bristol Rovers had got this red card. That means absolutely nothing. I thought Bristol Rovers looked okay against us. We bet them 2-1 of a week, especially second half. But first half, they had absolutely nothing going on from at all. The only good player that they had was this Omachiria, because he's just pinning a man. But they're doing absolutely nothing off of him, which is a real serious problem. Bristol Rovers, I thought, maybe do all right this season, but they're not committing enough men forward, I don't think, with this big lad for him to warrant any sort of push at all. And if you get it arseholed 4-0 at home against anybody, you're not going to be anything decent anyway. But it's a really good win for Wigan nonetheless. Moving on, Crawley 1, Stockport 1. To be fair, I've just said that about Bristol Rovers. I thought Crawley, when we played them, were one of the worst sides I've ever seen in my life. They were absolutely horrific. But every other game, Crawley have actually been quite good. They like to keep the possession a lot. They're just a worse Bolton. I'd say that's what Crawley are. They love having ball, but a lot of the time they don't really do anything with it. And by the sounds of it, obviously I've not watched this game. I've not watched Crawley Stockport. I've watched the highlights of every game that I talk about. From the sounds of it and what people are saying, Crawley were quite unlucky to not come away with a win, which has surprised me because this Stockport team is really, really good, and obviously the start that they've had. And defensively, they're really solid most of the time. But overall, I think that's probably a decent result. I think both would probably take that. Especially, even though Stockport started really well, they'd take any points away from home as a newly promoted side. And Crawley would take that, especially against Champions League 2 last season that started really good. I think that's a fair result that both would probably take. Peterborough, Lincoln, 1 apiece. Decent point for both. I think both will probably just like scraping outside at playoffs. I don't think either of them are really that good to take that step and get in there this time, especially Peterborough from the players that they've sold. And people get on at me because I said that they've not reinvested a lot of the money. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. You've sold about £6 million worth. You've had your sale on from Tony. You've made a lot of money. Just because you spent £1 million out of the maybe 7 or 8 that you brought in, that is not reinvesting a lot of money. So, and I'm aware how business works. Before we start with that, I support Barnsley. We do it every single year, and I complain about it every single year. You want to get out of this league, you've got to spend some brass. Anyway, moving on. Reading, Leyton Orient. Reading have been very inconsistent, I'd say, is the word so far, because obviously they went and got a draw away at Birmingham first week. They bet Wigan, they bet Charlton, but then they lose to Wrexham and Leyton Orient at home. So it's very odd. You can't really. I'd never bet on Reading, that's for sure. But Reading have created nothing. In all honesty, they've had 3 shots at home. The possession's 50-50. Leyton Orient just look, in general, the better side across board in this game. And after the loss of the first 4 games, they would go and win away at a decent side, wouldn't they, Embedded? Next up, we've got the Fat Lad versus Burton. Well, to be fair, stats are with him. So, I've not gone on BBC Sheffield, so he might have come out with an absolute corker, but I've not seen anything yet from Steve Evans. He might have come out with something crazy like, this is the greatest point in Burton's history, as if they've come to the New York Stadium and got a point. It's a good point for Burton as well, don't get me wrong. But for Rotherham to have played 6 games now and they've only got 1 win, which are against Huddersfield of all teams. To be fair, Huddersfield had a red card as well. So out of the first 5 games, excluding Huddersfield, where they had 10 men for probably about half an hour, they've won 1. You know what I mean? They've won a game. They've scored 5 goals. They've got a negative goal difference. To be fair, I think if Rotherham can finish on top page, if you don't have to scroll when you're looking at League One's table to get down to him, I think that'll be a good season for him. Because Steve Evans, I really just do not rate. I don't get the hype around him. Maybe it's just because I don't like him and he's a fucking lard ass. But I don't know. I just don't think he's all that. I don't think Rotherham's team's all that. And this is even a bias thing. It's not like I'm talking about Wednesday Leeds, 2 teams that I actually dislike. Rotherham I couldn't care less about. I just think they're crap. Charlton obviously got the win away at Shrewsbury. Again, 1-0s, 2-1s. Nathan Jones, you know what I mean? We'll get it out of the way, shall we? Stevenage 3, Barnsley 0. Let's just talk about it nice and early. Every team has bad days. Okay? Every team has bad days. First half, we looked okay. Second half, we did absolutely nothing. I do think majority of his team have maybe got one eye on Tuesday night and going to Man United, biggest team in country. Which isn't good, obviously. And we have to keep taking pines off at half-time. I don't know if it's a fitness issue or what is going on with him, but he can't last a game and he's his best centre-half and it's really annoying. Yeah. Stevenage, good goals, to be fair. Good on set pieces. Best midfield in the league. Yeah. Yeah. And what? We can have bad games. Messi has bad games. You know what I mean? We're still going up. Comfortably. And then obviously tonight we've got the last League One game, which is chuffing the New York Yankees versus Deadpool. I'm doing a watch along for it, to be fair to you. So if you fancy it, I'll be live at 10 to 8 tonight if you're watching this on Monday. If you're watching it on Tuesday, then I've seen the future. I'm going to say Birmingham 2, Wrexham 1. Wow, what a great game. Birmingham definitely going to win league. Wrexham, to be fair to them, even though they've gone to Birmingham and lost, I thought they put up a good show. The football suits this league. They'll probably still be in and around playoffs anyway. Right, thank you. But looking at league to see us off, Cambridge and Shrewsbury, they're going to be down there anyway, but they really, really need to start scoring some goals and picking some points up ASAP, especially Cambridge, because there's a gap forming already. Do you know what I mean? And you can't let a gap start forming after 5 games. It's just not on. Bolton need to sack Ian Everett if they want any sort of life at all, because they're just miles off it at minute. They're not scoring enough goals. They're not making enough chances. They've got loads at ball, but they're just playing it around back constantly and doing no weight, so it's not good enough. Rotherham are crap. Going up, Wigan, to be fair, have done quite good after transfer window shut, especially after losing Sam Hughes. Crawley keep chipping away, to be fair to him. Go on, boys. I hope they stay up, to be fair to him. Crawley, I really hope they stay up. Can't see it, but I would like them to. Some other smaller sides have done quite well as well so far. Wycombe, Stevenage, Mansfield, Birmingham, they've all done alright. Stockport have gone from winning every game to drawing the last 2. Maybe they might start dropping off a little bit. To be fair, they come to Barnsley in like a week, so they'll probably beat us. Huddersfield, massive win. Charlton, another massive win, another clean sheet. But the big one is tonight, and it's Birmingham Wrexham, so we'll see what Leeds looking like after that. But I'm just going to put it out there. I want Birmingham to win. I want Birmingham to win, because we know that they're going to go up anyway. Do you know what I mean? We know they're going to go up automatic. So just get them out of the way. Don't give points to anyone else that's going to be around us, like maybe a Wrexham. Just win every game and fuck off. But that is that. Thank you all for watching again. Make sure you liked and subscribed, and I will see you at 10 to 8 tonight, hopefully, if you're watching on Monday for the watch along for Birmingham Wrexham, where we'll be going for a Birmingham 2, Wrexham 1 result. Thank you all for watching again. Love you all, and I'll see you in a bit. And just because Barnsley lost, alright, before you start talking to me again, teams lose games. Man City lose games. Real Madrid lose games. We're going to lose games. We're still going up. Good.